Clan Novacat. Other clans often point to the fact that Clan Novacat was the only clan forged by a member of the Exodus who didn't belong to the Star League Defense Force to explain that clan's unconventional nature and sometimes disturbing customs. The freedom they allow their merchant caste, their emphasis and reliance on innovative economic measures, and their deeply spiritual nature sets Clan Novacat dramatically apart from Nicholas Kerensky's other descendants. The beginnings of these policies can be traced directly to the founder of Clan Novacat, Philip Drummond, and to the influence of Anna Rossa. History. Founded by Philip Drummond, Clan Novacat are an example of how unconventional the clans can seem to each other. Drummond was a former 832nd Amaris Dragoon who turned himself over to General Kerensky himself to offer his services once the true extent of the coup had been revealed. His calm demeanour and way with words helped him gain the trust of his fellow SLDF officers, and he would eventually be chosen as the clan's first Khan by Nicholas himself as a show of his trust and to prove how one who was once a follower of the usurper can be redeemed. Anna Rossa was a resistance leader on Terra during the Amaris Civil War. At the age of 9, she started helping in any way she could, and eventually grew to become one of the most respected leaders of the resistance. Eventually finding her way into the SLDF when Kerensky landed on Terra to liberate the homeworld, she would lose her first husband Peter Karpov through Kerensky's brutal retaliation methods against those who chose to leave the Exodus fleet and return to the Inner Sphere. These actions led her to a nervous breakdown, and only through meditation and spiritual healing did she regain her sanity. Anna would eventually befriend and later fall in love with Philip Drummond, having 3 children to him over the years, though only one would survive. Anna's strong spiritualistic beliefs would pass on throughout the Novacat clan, as the second Khan of Novacat, Sandra Rossa, would rely heavily on vision and prophecy to guide the clan going forward. Society. Khan Rossa would even write a book to guide all of the clan's castes titled Ways of Seeing, to provide all of the Novacats rituals to perform to enhance themselves spiritually and improve their lives. These actions caused concern amongst the other clans, who viewed this as being unclan-like, but despite their claims, there were no incidents in which they could bring a trial against the Novacats. Ritual permeates much of the clan's day-to-day activities, with these rituals being used to focus the clan in their tasks both mentally and emotionally. The rites have also given rise to the position of Oathmaster within the clan, who is responsible for the spiritual well-being of all Novacats. The Ways of Seeing are virtually a religion in and of itself, although it isn't officially recognised as such. During the Golden Century, Clan Novacat made good use of the years to perfect the technology of modern clan energy weaponry, making these stables of war smaller, lighter, more powerful, and able to inflict more serious damage at longer range. Being the first to develop these improved weapons gave Novacat warriors undisputed battlefield superiority for as long as it took the rest of the clans to obtain the blueprints and manufacture their own models. The clan's greatest strength came from the merchant caste. Given the freedom by Khan Sandra Rossa to develop a unique style of trading and system for obtaining needed raw materials and other essentials, the Novacat merchant caste revived a Terra method of commerce known as futures trading. Convinced that there must be a way to gain a share of the plentiful raw materials being retrieved from planets in the Kerensky cluster without actually travelling to those planets and extracting the stuff themselves, the Novacat merchants examined the situation carefully, then began buying up certain tools and materials. Confident of their plan, the merchants approached Clan Sea Fox, later Diamond Shark, one of the clans most actively exploiting their far-flung territories, and offered to supply these clans with all the materials needed to explore new planets and extract whatever useful raw materials they found there, in return for a percentage of the results. If the exploration turned up nothing useful, Novacat would absorb the cost. While suspicious of the Novacat's ulterior motives, Clan Sea Fox saw they had nothing to lose through this offer and accepted. Both clans reaped substantial benefits from this partnership, with Novacat gaining percentages of many rare and unusual products, while Sea Fox used the subsidies to expand their work even further. This strong relationship remains to this day. Military. Clan Novacat warriors place high priority on accuracy and regularly challenge the Goliath Scorpions for marksmanship. They have a preference for laser arm designs, a practice that originates with the clan's perfection of ER lasers. Novacat commanders emphasise flexibility in their doctrine and are quick to adapt to what works. Examples of this can be seen during the campaign on Luthien and Tukiad. Novacat ground forces traditionally favour omnimechs as the core of their tomen. Favouring medium and light mechs, Novacat uses a mixed line of omnimechs first, supported by second line standard battlemechs and vehicles being used in reserve, crewed by Salama units. The use of infantry was rare, but not unheard of by Novacat. Aerospace units play a key role in Novacat operations, and they use a high ratio of air assets during campaigns. This is also shown in the clan's large fleet, which, although not as well developed as that of Snow Raven or some other clans, it remains one of the largest amongst the clans. Allies and enemies. Throughout the ages, Novacat have remained enemies with several clans. Smoke Jaguar, a long-time enemy after a failed romance between Khan Sandra Rossa and Sarkhan Leon Ismail, turned sour due to a vision Sandra had of the Novacats becoming a raging beast. This sudden cooling of relations between the two resulted in a feud that still simmers to this day. The clan is also mistrusted over its support of the Wolverines. Novacat, narrowly avoiding itself becoming a target for annihilation, has been the hatred of Clan Baroque ever since. The clan does, however, hold friendly ties to the Snow Raven and Diamond Shark clans, whom have a working relationship that has benefited all three across the centuries.